Hi there, and welcome to another Manga Monday. And as always, I have been reading something entirely new for me, and it has been Fullmetal Alchemist. And so, what is Fullmetal Alchemist about? Well, it's about these two guys right here on the front cover. Now, this book has an introduction. It's just a couple of lines actually by the author. It's right here. It's just this, and I keep on thinking about if I would have liked this book as much as I do. Spoilers, I like it. If I hadn't had that introduction, the author basically just tells us that he loves B movies where everything is over the top. And just a bit more crazy than you would do in anything else besides a B movie. So that's what he does in this book. It's about these two brothers who their mother died, and they tried to use alchemy to get her back. And alchemy in this universe is an equal exchange. So in their attempt, they lost one brother, completely disappeared. The other brother lost his leg, and so the brother who was left with just one leg sacrificed one of his arms to bring back his brother's soul, which he bound to this metal armor. So he can still walk around. He still has his other arm. They are made out of metal. They're fake limbs, but they are fully functional, and their quest is to somehow find a way to get the one brother's entire body back, to get the other brother's arm and leg back. But they do have standards. They won't do it for just any price. So they find different ways of doing it that they decide are not good enough. That means that of all the books here that I've read, this is the one with the most philosophical questions in it. It's the one that has given me the most to think about out of all the manga I've read so far. And despite the fact that at this point I have read 12 volumes of One Piece, which is still the highest rated one on my list. I haven't rated this at this point, Fullmetal Alchemist, but One Piece I have rated the first 3 volumes of, and I have read another 9 now, and I have another 3 ready to go. So I'm really enjoying One Piece, but I think what I'm really enjoying about One Piece is how lighthearted it is, because earlier this week I was in kind of a tough spot, and I told my girlfriend, you need to get my mind off of things. And she looked back at me and she said, you know what, you've been reading a lot of manga lately. Tell me about some of it. And my immediate thought was, okay, the one I've been reading the most is probably One Piece. But what is there really to talk about? It's a great adventure, and to me it's lighthearted, and it's something that I really just enjoy, and it takes my mind off of things, and I have fun with it. But there's not a lot of substance in there. It's not like you have to stop and think about the things. There's a lot of great stuff, and I really love One Piece. This is not me talking bad about it, but this is a very different kind of entertainment. And this was the book that I ended up talking to her about, because this one has dilemmas. This one has some crazy situations where you have to consider, would you make the same choice? And plus, one of the great things about this is the omnibus with 3 volumes, and in the first volume they do a really great job at introducing us to the universe, telling us who the main characters are, what their quest is, and all of that stuff. And then in the second volume they go into some really, really, really creepy stuff that turned out to be the one manga story that I wanted to talk about when my girlfriend asked for it. So there is some really great stuff in here, and yeah, I would say this is the one that is the most worth talking about. Well, I can tell you right now, I've already started reading the book for next week, which is Dragon Ball, and there's some stuff in there to talk about as well, but that is in a very, very different way. This is a very adult book with some adult decisions and a lot of philosophy in there. I won't go into Dragon Ball until next week, but the things I want to discuss about Dragon Ball is different. It's more about, is this appropriate? Is this an appropriate way to build a book? So, nudity, blood and gore, those kinds of things I always like to address in my reviews, but actually I haven't come across either in here. I mean, there's a lot of fighting in here, and but it's not like there's a lot of blood and gore in there, because they don't need it. They have this whole alchemy thing where they use alchemy to fight each other, which makes it really, really great. And it's not like there are no stakes and people don't get hurt. They really do. They lose limbs and stuff. But it doesn't seem bloody or anything. I mean, this is pretty clean done. And I really like that, because it gives me the feeling that the author doesn't have to rely on blood and gore in the graphics to tell the story that he's trying to tell. So it makes me feel like there's a confident author behind this. Nudity, I haven't come across any, at least none that I remember. So there is that. There might be some later on, I honestly cannot say right now, but I will say that I am ready to keep on reading. That's how much I loved the first book, that I just immediately ordered a lot of the follow-ups. This is a pretty short series, actually. There are only 27 volumes. That means there are 9 of these 3-in-1 volumes. There's also a manga. I haven't seen it, and I don't want to see it until I've finished reading all 9 omnibuses here. I have 4 of them here. I have another 3 on the way in the mail, and I have and I'm gonna get the last 2 at some point soon. But I mean, it's no rush. I haven't read beyond the first one yet, so that's it. So we're getting down to giving this some kind of a rating. So what do we want to give this? I'm still not sure I want to place this above One Piece. I'm really not, because even though there's a lot more substance in this one, and even though there's more stuff to talk about in here, there's more stuff to think about, and honestly, I might even say that this is probably the better series. Probably is. But I try to keep my scores as to what resonates the most with me. And, well, again, this one really does. But for some reason I keep on reading One Piece over this. But it's probably because, you know, when you have a lot of stuff in your mind, you don't want to read a book that gives you a lot of stuff in your mind. So One Piece is the relief I need sometimes, just speaking about entertainment. Whereas if a lot of things are really boring and you need some kind of entertainment, you might want something to think about, and that's when you go for Fullmetal Alchemist. No, you know what? I think there are too many positive things to say about Fullmetal Alchemist to keep it below One Piece, but it is close to a tie. I just don't want to do a tie at any point right now. So I put One Piece at 8.1 out of 10, with Vinland Saga right behind it on 8.0. I am prepared to give this one an 8.5. Yeah, 8.5 for Fullmetal Alchemist. I've decided once I've reached the first 10 Manga Mondays, I'm going to do a video where I look back on my first 10 mangas, and I might, you know, adjust the grades a little bit up or down, depending on how I feel about it after it's been a while, what I've been reading more of, and what that has done to my feeling of it. But that's going to be, you know, a couple of videos still. So yeah, 8.5 for this. Thanks for checking in. Next week we'll be looking at Dragon Ball, and the week after that we'll be looking at Yu-Gi-Oh! I still have a ton of stuff that I want to get into at some point. I'm just looking up because I have my manga shelf right here above the camera. So just to tell you what I'm going to read throughout the rest of the year and the beginning of next year. I have Vagabond up there. I have Bleach. I have Rurouni Kenshin. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm never gonna be able to pronounce that anyway. I have Hack. I have Vampire Game. I have Magi. I have Berserk, Parasite, Pluto. Did I say Vagabond? I have Vagabond as well. So a lot of great stuff to get into, and I'm really looking forward to all of it. But it's, you know, when the collection grows faster than you read it, it starts to become a little bit hard to look forward to each and every one of them. But this is some great stuff, and I look forward to reading it, and I look forward to telling you guys about it. So once again, thank you for checking in. Subscribe if you'd like. Leave a comment. A couple of people have been leaving comments so far. I try to reply to them all. I really appreciate the comments, so please join the conversation. And that's it for now. Bye bye.